sense of West Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. We are starting with good news because today's session had strong performances from several key stocks, especially in the industrial and consumer sectors. So, what exactly happened in today's market? Let's walk through the highlights together. We'll cover the top gainers, the market indexes, and the bond trades. And more importantly, we'll explain what these developments mean for you as an investor. Let's begin with the indexes. The BRVM Composite, which includes all 47 listed companies, closed at 317.30 points. That was a slight fall of 0.13% compared to the previous session. But let's zoom out. Since the beginning of the year, this index is still up nearly 15%. For long-term investors, this shows that even though there may be day-to-day dips, the broader market trend is positive and confidence remains. Moving to the BRVM 30, which tracks the 30 most liquid stocks, the index stood at 154.05 points. That's a very small decline of 0.06%. On a yearly basis, however, it has gained more than 11%. What does this mean for you? It means that liquidity is still strong and the top traded stocks are holding value. These are the names that institutional investors often prioritize, and they remain on solid ground. In contrast, the BRVM Prestige Index showed excellent momentum. It rose 0.25% to reach 131.71 points. Since January, it has grown by almost 15%. This index highlights the most established and reputable companies on the exchange. The steady gains show that investors continue to trust these high-quality firms. Now, let's turn to the top gainers of the day. And there were some remarkable ones. Liquide Côte d'Ivoire jumped 7.27% to close at 590 francs CFA. Such a strong rise reflects renewed confidence in the industrial sector. For investors, it shows that demand for industrial and medical gases is strengthening in the region. In the agro industry, Sucrivoire surged 7.24%, finishing at 1,185 francs CFA. This stock has been a star performer in 2025. Since the start of the year, it has gained more than 52%. What does that mean for you as an investor? It highlights that consumer demand, especially in essential goods like sugar, remains strong. It also shows resilience in agriculture-linked stocks, a good area to diversify into. Still in consumer staples, SAFCA Côte d'Ivoire gained 7.04%, closing at 1,140 francs CFA. Over the last 12 months, SAFCA has climbed by more than 58%. That's the kind of consistent growth that long-term investors look for. Another name that impressed was Uniwax. The textile producer rose 6.77% to 710 francs CFA. Over a 12-month period, it has rallied by more than 73%. This highlights the resilience of Côte d'Ivoire's textile industry and the growing regional demand for African prints and fabrics. Finally, Bernabé Côte d'Ivoire added 6.72%, closing at 1,905 francs CFA. On an annual basis, Bernabé's stock has grown by nearly 79%. To sum up, the day's strongest performers confirm positive momentum in industry, consumer goods, and textiles. For investors, these stocks represent concrete opportunities to diversify portfolios into growth sectors. But, of course, not every stock went up. Let's also look at the day's losers, because they tell another side of the story. Solibra Côte d'Ivoire fell 5.06%, finishing at 17,155 francs CFA. Even though it remains up 36% since January, this correction may reflect investors taking profits after a strong rally. Another decline came from Compagnie Ivoirienne d'Électricité, or CIE. The stock fell 1.86% to 2,110 francs CFA. Over the year, it is still down 3.87%. For investors, this shows that public utility stocks, often considered stable, are not immune to regulatory and operational pressures. Orange Côte d'Ivoire also dropped 1.70%, closing at 14,450 francs CFA. Over 12 months, it is down more than 17%. This sends a clear signal. The telecom sector is under pressure. With high investment needs and tighter margins, investors should be cautious about telecom names in the short term. BC Côte d'Ivoire also slipped 0.92% to 16,850 francs CFA, while NSIA Bank eased 0.89% to 9,515 francs CFA. Both moves are small, and the banking sector overall still looks strong. Let's zoom in on sector performance, because it gives us context. Consumer discretionary rose 0.94%. Financial services gained 0.74%. Industrials added 0.88%. These three sectors continue to act as engines of growth for the BRVM. For investors, the message is simple. Sector diversification matters. By spreading investments across finance, industry, and consumer goods, you capture different streams of growth and reduce your risk. Now let's discuss the bond market, which was extremely active today. The traded volume surged to over 31,000 securities, with a total value of 163.9 million francs CFA. That represents a jump of more than 4,000% compared to the previous day. This is a powerful signal. Both institutional investors and sophisticated individuals are moving into bonds as a way to secure stable yields. We saw trading activity in several maturities, particularly the 10-year and 8-year bonds issued by Mali, Senegal, and Niger. For investors, this means there is a strong appetite for regional sovereign debt. These instruments are increasingly viewed as trustworthy long-term investments. They can help stabilize a portfolio and provide predictable cash flow. We also noted transactions in corporate bonds such as Talium Real Estate and Petro Ivoire, offering yields around 7%. These remain attractive because they provide higher returns than Treasury securities, while giving investors the chance to diversify. So, what does all of this mean for you as an investor in West Africa? First, the strong performance of the top gainers shows that certain sectors are expanding rapidly. If you're looking for growth, you may want to consider companies in industry, agriculture, and textiles. Second, the declines in Solibra, Orange, and CIE are a reminder to manage risk carefully and to diversify. No sector is guaranteed to perform every day. Finally, the bond market's surge is proof that investors increasingly trust the region's sovereign and corporate debt. It's a clear sign that bonds are an essential complement to stocks in any balanced portfolio. And remember, if you want to go further, Daba Pro is here to help. With our premium subscription, you'll get weekly recommendations, detailed equity analysis, exclusive data, and reduced fees when investing. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you stay ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba Markets Talk podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your app store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.